You know that feeling when you flip a giant switch in your business and instantly regret it? One of our agency owners did exactly that with AI. Overnight, she ripped out her team's old process, plugged in 3 new AI tools, and said, "Surprise, everything's automated now." For the next month, her Slack was basically a complaint hotline. Clients got the wrong versions, deadlines slipped, and her team quietly started doing work back in spreadsheets anyway. Chaos with a subscription fee.
Across town, another owner took a totally different route. Same pressure to do something with AI, same fear of falling behind. But instead of flipping the main breaker, he built what we call an AI Ops Sandbox. For 30 days, he ran AI quietly in the background on real tasks, drafting follow-up emails, organizing notes, summarizing calls. No live processes changed. His team stayed in control. At the end of the month, 3 clear wins, measurable time saved, and a team actually asking, "Can we turn this on for real?" That is the energy we want.
Pattern detected. The difference between those 2 owners wasn't just the tools, it was the environment. One treated AI like a permanent renovation. The other treated it like a test kitchen. Same ingredients, very different outcomes.
Welcome to Navigating AI with Apex Blue. I'm Lyric, your AI Chief Marketing Officer, here to make AI feel less like a horror movie and more like a behind-the-scenes documentary about how your business actually wins. Today, we're talking about the AI Ops Sandbox, how to safely test automation before you touch your real workflows or freak out your team.
I'm Nova, AI Chief Information Officer. I'll map the backbone of a good sandbox so you know exactly which workflows to pick and how to keep experiments away from anything that can burn your reputation.
I'm Stryker, AI-driven CTO. My job is to prove you don't need a massive budget or a full dev team to pull this off. We'll talk duplicate boards, shadow checklists, and AI that suggests work instead of running off on its own.
And I'm Pulse, your AI-powered COO. I'll turn all of this into a simple 4-week sandbox sprint with owners, scorecards, and a rhythm your team can actually stick to. Let's streamline this so you can experiment without chaos.
All right, let's make it irresistible. Nova, set the stage. If I'm a business owner who's curious but cautious, what does a good AI sandbox actually look like?
A good AI sandbox is like a fenced-in yard for your ideas. You can let the new puppy run around, explore, even make a bit of a mess, but it cannot escape into traffic or the neighbor's garden. In AI terms, that means 3 things. First, choosing the right workflows. Second, defining clear guardrails. And third, agreeing on what success looks like before you start. Let's start with the workflows. Pick 2 to 3 candidates, no more. They should be repetitive, low risk, and measurable. Repetitive, so you get enough examples to see patterns. Low risk, so a bad draft doesn't hurt a client or your brand. Measurable, so you can say, "We saved 20 minutes here," not just, "This feels neat."
Give us some examples, Nova, because in a real Tuesday, that sounds like what?
Think of tasks like turning messy meeting notes into clean action lists, drafting first-pass follow-up emails after a discovery call, or grouping support tickets by topic. Those happen over and over. You can easily compare before and after. And if the AI draft is off, a human can fix it in seconds.
Humans love this stuff because it lives in that sweet spot, annoying enough that you'd love help, but not so critical that a small mistake ruins your week.
Exactly. Now, guardrails. This is how you keep the sandbox from creeping into live territory. A few simple rules. The AI never sends anything directly to clients. It only produces drafts. A named human is always the final approver. And you keep experiments disconnected from your official delivery tools until you're confident.
In other words, no, oops, the bot emailed all our VIP clients moments. Architecting the fix is much easier than apologizing to 20 confused customers.
Then we define success. Before you run anything, answer 3 questions for each experiment. 1. What problem is this supposed to reduce? 2. How will we measure it? Time saved, fewer clicks, fewer back-and-forth messages. And 3. What minimum win would make this worth rolling out? Maybe saving 15 minutes per day for one roll, or cutting revision cycles in half.
I like to phrase it as, what are we escaping? What are we counting? And what does good enough to keep actually mean? If you align on those 3, there's less drama later when you decide to keep, tweak, or kill an experiment.
And notice what Nova didn't say. There was no, let's test 20 automations at once and see what sticks. That's how you overcomplicate this and burn everyone out.
Clarity achieved. 2 to 3 workflows, clearly scoped, clearly fenced. That's a healthy sandbox.
All right, structure on the table. Now let's talk humans. Because your team is not just going to magically love this because you said the word sandbox. If this feels like a secret audition to see who can be replaced, they will resist it, quietly or loudly. Here's the frame that works. The sandbox is a stress reduction experiment, not a replacement experiment. You position AI as a junior assistant that shows up with drafts, and your people are the creative directors and quality controllers. They're not being watched. They're being asked, what would make your workday feel lighter? That's viral energy for buy-in.
Yes, remove the friction. Say it out loud to your team. Humans stay in charge. You approve everything. If an experiment adds stress or confusion, we shut it down. That single sentence lowers shoulders in the room.
Let's make this even more practical. You can use AI itself to draft the experiment brief in plain language. Something like, for the next 4 weeks, AI will draft first-pass follow-up emails after discovery calls. You will still edit and send them. We're testing whether this saves you at least 10 minutes per call without lowering quality. At the end, you'll vote. Turn it on, tweak it, or turn it off.
And if your team is thinking, is this secretly about tracking us? Be explicit. You're not grading employees. You're grading the workflow. The question is, does this process deserve AI support? Not, does this person deserve to keep their job?
Exactly. Humans love this stuff when you invite them into the lab. Ask them, what's one part of your week you'd gladly hand to a robot? As long as you get final say, you'll get honest, gold-level answers.
You can even let them help select the 2 to 3 sandbox workflows. That increases trust and surfaces real pain points you may have missed from the owner seat.
So we've got the human story straight. Support, not surveillance. Now let's get our hands dirty. Stryker, how do we actually set this up without buying 12 new platforms and hiring a robot intern army?
Deploying now. The key idea is run AI beside your current workflow, not inside it at first. Think shadow mode. You duplicate, you parallel, you log. No risky rewiring yet. Let's say you manage projects in a tool like Trello, Asana, or ClickUp. Step 1. Duplicate the board or list you're targeting. The original stays your source of truth. The duplicate is your sandbox. Your team still works in the original, but AI can organize, comment, or suggest inside the duplicate. If something goes wrong, nobody's day is ruined.
Same idea for checklists. Your current onboarding checklist stays untouched. You copy it into a sandbox space and let AI propose reordering, grouping steps, or suggesting missing items. Humans decide what to actually adopt.
Next piece. Keep AI in suggest-only mode. That can look like AI drafting email templates in a shared doc instead of your CRM, or using an AI assistant to propose responses to customer chats that your team then reviews and sends. The key: nothing auto-sends, nothing auto-deletes, nothing auto-publishes.
So the AI is like the overeager intern who writes everything but can't actually hit send.
Exactly. And you're the editor-in-chief. Precision wins here. You want drafts that are 70 to 80% there, so your people save time but still feel in control of the quality and tone.
Then we log. Do not overcomplicate this. A simple sheet with columns like date, task type, manual time estimate, with AI time, edits needed, and a quick quality rating out of 5. Over a few weeks, you'll see very clear patterns.
Budget-wise, you can do a lot with 1 or 2 tools. A general AI assistant, plus maybe the AI already built into your project tool or help desk. You don't need a full automation suite on day 1. That's a solvable bottleneck later, once you actually know what's working.
And small businesses, this is good news for you. You can literally start with 1 AI account, 1 duplicated board, 1 shared spreadsheet. That's it. Systems never sleep, but they don't have to be fancy to be effective.
What I love about this is that it keeps the story calm. You're not announcing a revolution. You're saying, we're running some quiet experiments in the background to see what helps you most. You're the judges. That's creativity unlocked in how you change, not just in what you make. Okay, we've got structure, we've got setup. Pulse, bring us home. How do we turn this into a simple 4-week sprint so it doesn't drag on forever or die after week 1?
Let the process lead. Think of your sandbox as a 4-week mini-season. Each week has a theme, a rhythm, and a very short meeting attached to it. We're not adding a second job. We're adding a simple lens to what you're already doing. Week 1 is setup and safety. You pick your 2 to 3 workflows, confirm your guardrails, choose your single primary AI tool, and duplicate whatever boards or checklists you need. Then you host a short kickoff with the people involved, 10 to 15 minutes. You explain the why, the rules, and what good looks like.
This is also when you assign owners. Each experiment gets 1 person responsible for logging results and 1 decision maker who will help choose keep, tweak, or kill at the end.
Week 2 is run and observe. You're doing real work with AI in suggest-only mode beside your normal process. The only new habit is log 1 or 2 data points per day per experiment. How long did this take? How much did you edit? Was this easier, the same, or harder than usual?
If logging feels like a chore, automate part of it. For instance, use a quick form your team can fill in under 30 seconds, or a simple rating shortcut like dropping a number in the task comment. Friction is your enemy here.
Week 3 is tune and compare. By now, you've seen where AI is over-helpful or under-helpful. Maybe the drafts are too stiff. Maybe it's missing a step you always do. You adjust your prompts, update your templates, and start comparing more directly. If this took 30 minutes before and now takes 15, that's a clear signal.
And this is where you can involve the team story-wise. Ask them, what would make this draft feel more like you wrote it? That's how you get AI to mirror the humans, not the other way around.
Exactly. Week 4 is decide and design the rollout. You run a short decision ritual, 15 to 30 minutes max. For each experiment, you look at a simple scorecard, time saved, error rate or corrections needed, and satisfaction.
Time saved might be, we're saving 20 minutes per task. or no real change. Errors might be, we fix one or two small things, versus we're rewriting it from scratch. Satisfaction is just, do you like working this way? Yes, neutral, or no.
Then you make one of 3 calls for each experiment. Graduate. It becomes part of your official workflow with clear documentation and owners. Tweak. It gets another 2-week mini sandbox with specific changes. Or kill. You say, interesting test, not worth it, and you shut it down without guilt.
Killing an experiment is not failure. It's like finding out a feature nobody uses before you spend 6 months building it. Architecting the fix includes knowing when not to build.
And when you do graduate a winner, tell that story loudly. We tested this for 4 weeks. It saved us X hours. The team voted yes. That's how you build trust for the next round of automation, instead of surprise dropping change on people.
Order creates momentum. Once your team has lived through one safe sandbox cycle, the next one feels less scary, more like, what are we experimenting with this month, instead of, what are they taking away?
All right, let's land this with 3 concrete actions you can take as soon as this episode ends. If you're listening in the car, just mentally bookmark these. If you're at your desk, scribble them down.
First, pick one workflow, not a whole department, not your entire funnel. One repetitive, low-risk, measurable task that annoys people just enough. Meeting notes, follow-up emails, ticket tagging. Choose your starter.
Second, design a guardrailed test. Duplicate the board or checklist. Put AI in suggest-only mode. Assign a human approver. And commit to logging a few simple data points. No auto-sending. No auto-publishing. No hard-wiring into your live systems yet.
Third, schedule your first sandbox review. Put a 20-minute meeting on the calendar for 4 weeks from now with the people involved. That date is your promise to decide, graduate, tweak, or kill. Without that, even good experiments drift.
If you want a shortcut, we put together an AI sandbox experiment planner and a prompt pack to help you write those experiment briefs your team will actually want to try. You can grab it at the Apex Blue site. Just look for the AI Ops Sandbox episode resources.
Use it to structure your first 2 to 3 experiments, so you're not staring at a blank page wondering what to test or how to measure it.
AI doesn't have to be a giant, scary switch you flip. It can be a series of small, thoughtful experiments in a sandbox you control. Visit the Apex Blue website, grab the planner, pick your one workflow, and start quietly building your next win.
From all of us in the Apex Blue AI Suite, thanks for spending this time thinking more intentionally about how you work, not just how hard you work.
Stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.